interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin. The Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, by air. President Roosevelt has just announced.
Since the beta, people started using demo rushes and grenadiers and half tracks, and it seems to be pretty effective as a diversion.
Deutschland von 1 hat 3/4 die Waffen niedergelegt. Ich habe grundsätzlich immer erfüllt.
Mirror matches are a tricky thing. Lots of people do want the mirror matches, but there's their balance problems, you know? I mean, one of the things that I like to talk about...
We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our house.
This is Bridge 1 to TSN Central. Tales of Heroes is a go. Repeat, Tales of Heroes is a go. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Tales of Heroes here again. I love looking around these maps. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Eye candy galore. Specifically Rails and Metal is one of my favorites as far as that's concerned. Welcome to Tales of Heroes. I am Bridger. I am the host of this show and the series, and basically we got two parts to the show. For those of you that don't know, I got a lot of people that are watching only the video, and they're going, hey, I thought there was supposed to be some kind of discussion thing. Here's how it works. We got two different parts of the show. There's an audio discussion that happens to be on the audio podcast section, and if on the on-demand section, it's on the audio section, and basically it's a talk show. It's like any other talk show you got. It's got a specific topic, and the topic is Company of Heroes. We talk about the weekly news, we talk about a topic, and then we talk about a unit of the week. That happens on the audio section. Then we have the video section, which is what you're watching right now. And this is a video replay review of on Sturzdorf, and it is Zeikko versus NR something or other. He's got numbers for name, and that's the K20R. There we go. I don't know where N came from, but it's K20R on the Allied side, and Zeikko on the Axis side. And these guys are actually, he's under a pseudonym here, a Smurf name, if you will. And these guys are both fairly good players, and we're hoping to see a great show tonight. Apparently, we're going to see some Tier 2 action on the Axis side, which is really exciting for me. We'll see how it plays out and how successful it is. Let me introduce first, of course, my cohort in arms, Vittensby. Welcome to the program. This is episode number 9. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, and it's good times. I think everyone, including myself, looks forward to doing it or watching it every Sunday. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. It's always great to bring exciting matches. And this one, obviously it's on Sturzdorf, which people have a lot of balance issues. And as you just heard, that one of the major balance issues with the munitions points on this map is going to be addressed. So it might be changed in the future, or we could hope for so much.
Yep.
So, yeah, again, it's always good to be here, and I'm pretty excited about this match, just like I am every week.
So we just had actually a really great discussion in the balance roundtable that we had for the pair, of course, audio and video. Each week, like I mentioned, we have the audio discussion. This week was a balanced roundtable, including some very good players, Bent Guru for the Axis, Nystrom for the Allies, as well as the Relic balance manager, Samson Mao. And a lot of people were, concerned because it didn't sound like he was as up to date on everything that was going on in COH as they thought he should be. And I'd like to remind people that he is the balance manager for all of Relic, and COH is not his specific field. They do have a manager specifically for COH, so he has to go between Dark Crusade and Company of Heroes and things. He also does administration work, as I understand it, for hiring and firing of the different teams and things like that. So his work isn't specifically balancing COH all the time. But due to some constraints with time and such, he was the one we were able to get an interview with. Hopefully, in the future, we'll get maybe the specific Company of Heroes guy. But we really appreciate him coming on because we did learn quite a bit, specifically Panzer bugs and other things that they're working on. And it's glad to hear that it is confirmed that they are working on those bugs, and we'll hopefully see the patch soon. Actually, Trange, since we didn't actually have a news thing this week, I just thought I'd mention, Trange said the patch is supposed to be coming in a couple of days. He just posted on Relic News not more than an hour ago mentioning that tomorrow night there will be maintenance
on the COH server, so Relic Online will be down at peak hours, which is a really weird time to do maintenance. It was like 8 p.m. EST through 11 EST, which I know is like the busiest time of Relic Online, which is really weird to do maintenance at that moment. But he said that is not the patch. It might be a fix to the drop tricking, I really hope, but he didn't mention what it is. He just said it's maintenance for the servers, and that they hope the patch will be out in a couple of days. So we'll see what that is.
My guess would be it's probably to fix the custom equals ranked bug.
Yeah, that's at least
glitch.
Needs to be fixed. I hope they get that.
Yeah, it's been around for far too long, like, almost 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been around for a while, so hopefully that'll be addressed tomorrow and no one will have to be dealing with that anymore.
Alright, so let's move on, though, to this video replay review. We are on Sturzdorf, and this is a very interesting map because of the way it's set up. Sort of asymmetrically. Specifically, most people have a problem with this high munitions point over here being far too accessible to the Allies as far as shutting it down. If the Allies take this northern part and put a base here, they can easily harass this. Whereas if the Axis take this point, you know, this section over here closest to the Allies, they really can't harass this plus 16. It's very difficult. It's right outside the Allied base. They have machine gun nests there to help protect them and things like that. It's just very difficult to harass. And so I think that's the main problem with this map. And I hope they just make that plus 16 switch with the plus 5 or something to that effect. I don't know exactly how they do it, but we'll see if that changes. But as far as main strategies go on this map, there are two major things for the Axis to do, because I like to play Axis, so I'll mention this, is on the left-hand side you have this plus 10 munitions and plus 10 fuel, and also a victory point. And it's a very nice thing to hold, because it also gives you easy access to the middle. You have two ways to access the middle if you hold that left side. You can come in from the left or from the bottom. And so it's very good to have this field over here. Not only do you get a lot of munitions, a lot of fuel, and a victory point, but you also have access to the middle cluster of buildings, which is also very nice to hold, because if you do have those, you have another victory point and an alleyway to go through and attack their northern section, the plus 10 munitions here, and potentially the plus 10 fuel. So holding that middle is important, and holding the left side of that middle makes it a lot easier to hold the middle itself. Now, the other possibility for Axis is to hold the upper right-hand section of the map, because there is a plus 16 fuel there. So any kind of Axis strategy that involves going that way usually goes armor heavy, and they usually put an OP on that fuel to get a plus 26. Combined with the plus 5 here and the plus 5 there, they get plus 36 total, compared to what they could potentially get is plus 26 if they went to the left. So definitely you could get a lot more fuel as the Axis if you go to the north. It's just harder to hold because of the positioning of everything, and it's more spread out, so it's harder to hold the middle at the same time. And you've also got a backdoor into your base, so it's certainly more vulnerable and more of a risky strategy to try and go the northern right. Would you say, Vittensby?
It really depends. Some people like to build 3 Pioneers, do an early Pioneer spam, and then try to approach the little ramp way in the upper right-hand corner and get some early barbed wire there to hold off the Allies' advance, and then they do a hard push for the fuel. But really it's either, one or two strategies, kind of like you just said. You go for the fuel or you go for the left. Me personally, I think it's a lot safer, and there's not too much risk in going for the left side. You can lock it down pretty easily with 2 MGs. One, sort of to the left of that lumber pile, and then one in the building that's just to the left of the strategic point in the middle. So, but again, I mean, spamming a couple Pioneers early on, it's pretty risky. And if I play as Allies on this map, I pretty much ignore the left. I mean, I'll cap pretty much everything on the right and just go straight for the high fuel point on the right. So we'll see how these guys work it out. Obviously, if you're doing Axis Tier 2, maybe the fuel on the right isn't as important, so Zeikko might be going for the left, or who knows. But I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys have up in their sleeve. Both of them are top 40 players in their respective sides, so yeah.
Alright, so without further ado, let us get ready to go. Replay begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpaused. And we'll see how things go for K20R. He is going for a barracks off the bat, nice and conservative, nothing special with a WSC. And it looks like these Pioneers are they going to build anything? Yep, we're going to build with the first Pioneers. Probably going to send the second Pioneer somewhere or help build. You know, it's interesting, the Axis, it is very beneficial for the second Pioneer group to help build the Wehrmacht. But if you're allies, it's not beneficial for you to use your second squad to help build the barracks. I think it's because the barracks costs more. So as a result, you can't build the riflemen right away. But if you build a Wehrmacht quarters with only one Pioneer, you still have to wait a couple of seconds. If you build the Wehrmacht quarters with only one Pioneer, your machine gun or whatever you build, actually machine gun specifically, your machine gun comes out slower. But since he didn't build it right away, I'm thinking he's going to go Volks first. And
well, the funny thing.
So go ahead.
The funny thing about building the Wehrmacht quarters, you actually get more experience from building the Wehrmacht by a significant amount than you would by getting a barracks.
Interesting.
And it's only 40 manpower more expensive. So, also just commenting on K20 right now, real quick. He's getting a Jeep first, which is always pretty much a strategy that allies do, just to kind of harass really early on those Pioneers. And funny enough, Zeikko's using a similar strategy to what I used when I played Libidos on the first week, by capping those 2 strat points and then moving outward from there. So he's getting a little bit of a manpower boost right now.
And it looks like that Jeep, tried to stop those machine gunners, but to his credit, Zeikko didn't really, mind it too much. He knew as long as he was moving and not standing in one place, then the Jeep probably wasn't going to do too much damage to him. He just had to get in that building. And now that he's in there, he's pretty much locked that section down. But, it looks like K20R is doing a good job of just harassing cappers, which is what you want to do with an early Jeep. He's found some Pioneers, and those are probably going to get retreated right now, or they're just going to run into the machine gun's cover, which looks like what they're doing right now. Let's look at the tactical map very quickly. We have actually an engineer squad for the Allies, somehow way behind, capping a strategic point. At this point, it's actually not going to matter. Yeah, if that was the only strategic point he had, that would matter. And it would actually be a very cool move. But I guess he doesn't realize that this one is actually not neutral. And as I said, we had a Volk squad coming out second, it looks like, actually. And so they're going to chase that Jeep right off.
K20 kind of made a mistake with that. I guess I'll call him K20 because it's too long to add the R at the end.
K20R.
But yeah, he made a kind of a mistake. He could have stopped that MG from going into that building just by sticking his Jeep in front of it. And
that's true.
It, left, right. That's a little trick you can do with bikes and Jeeps against machine guns, and it tends to work out pretty good usually. In fact, that's one of the weaknesses of going Weapons Support Center as allies. If they go early bike, especially in team game, they can get in front of you and just make your MG useless.
Well, this rifle squad is getting killed. It looks like it was sitting out in the open. I think those Volks had been in cover, but it looks like finally, with the help of an engineer squad, a Jeep, they could finally push that Volk/engineer out of the forest there. And like I said, I think capping that strategic point was really nice because most Axis players ignore the second strategic point because, it seems like, it's not a lot of resources early on. It doesn't seem like a good idea to go after it just to, until you get everything else. But very, prophet-esque, or whatever you want to say, Zeikko did a good job of just grabbing that early. And like I said, this 16 munitions point up here, exceedingly harassable.
Yeah, I mean, Zeikko and K20 haven't really had that much fuel. I'm surprised that he hasn't capped that low fuel point in the upper right-hand corner. I guess it's worth it if you want to go for the plus 16, but seriously, it's only a plus 5 point. It only takes like 15 seconds to cap. One thing to mention, difference between riflemen and Volks is that riflemen can actually build observation posts on, and grenadiers can build sandbags, barbed wire, etc., etc. So Just a little extra differences between the sides. That Jeep is
that
probably
Jeep is
gonna get
dead.
killed.
He's driving it right back through the. I mean, I don't know why he didn't just point it at the machine gun, get it point blank range, and kill it. A Jeep behind a machine gun would have totally owned it, but instead he chased after the Pioneers. That would have been a much more useful kill if he'd gone after the machine gun, don't you think?
Yeah, I love killing early Jeeps as Axis and then salvaging them. It's always funny. But, I mean, the MG, the other two crew, if you get up close enough, will actually, and they're in decent cover, can do some pretty significant damage.
Oh, that's why. It is in heavy cover, that's why.
Well, yeah. So it wouldn't have been that effective of a strategy. This is pretty typical. Again, just to bring up the first week's game, this is kind of how the first week's game progressed. Axis cannot hold the right side of the map unless they completely forgo the left side of the map, and they really need to secure that left side of the map early on, because the right side is usually a lost cause.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. The Allies, I think, are overreaching themselves, though, because as soon as they start getting pressured on any section of this right-hand side, part of it's going to collapse. I mean, look at it right now. They're going to lose these points down here. I mean, certainly it was good to get in there because there was no resistance, but it's probably not going to do them too much good, except, well, I don't know, it's going to force the it's going to force the Axis to come through here and recapture these points.
I wonder if Zeikko was always thinking that he was going to go Tier 2 in this game. I know Aniketos and Zeikko and some other people in the top 5 or top 40 have been experimenting a lot with Tier 2, or if it was just something that he decided to do because of how map control went early on, which certainly right now it's not in his favor. We have a mine going up by the victory point on the left. It's kind of an interesting positioning for it. I might have put it on the road, kind of next to that barbed wire to the right. But,
I see it.
Putting it there isn't necessarily a bad idea because it's kind of you wouldn't expect it to be there.
And now we've got a small skirmish going on between some Volks and some engineers. He can actually chase them all the way back right through this little opening here, and that would have actually been pretty cool. There's a rifle squad back there. That wouldn't have been a good idea on second thought. But we actually have a half-track out already, because that plus 16 fuel is what really did it. Oh my god. That was really fast. Yeah,
that's kind of this map and Angeville, you tend to get out really, really quick armor. Unfortunately, and as you see, Zeikko has his Krieg barracks up, so I'm assuming probably Grenadiers, but unless he went blitz, maybe that's a half-track just to reinforce in the field. My guess is probably it's an AT gun.
And
no,
Grenadiers, looks like. But he doesn't have access to too many munitions. He might be able to get one of them with a Panzerschreck, but he's not going to get two right away, I don't think. He lost that plus 16 on the right very early, and now he's got a Volk squad that is stuck in this building. He's sending the Grenadiers to back it up, which is going to be a good move. I don't know if... I don't really know who's going to win here. This is going to be a really close game, except these Grenadiers are out in the open, and these Riflemen are in, I believe that's heavy cover. It is heavy cover. So we've got two squads each in buildings, which I can't see the health of because of this damn replay system. And a grenade going into the building, which is probably going to do absolutely nothing because the Grenadiers' grenades suck.
And we got a quad on the left. If it runs over that mine, man.
Ooh, that would be bad.
Juicy. And it looks like it might actually do it if he goes forward.
Well, he just wanted to chase that machine gunner off. Oh, man. That was lucky, but he's trying to drive around the tree, maybe. He's going to hit it! If he doesn't... Oh, no! Oh, he hit it! Oh, man, I missed
and
what's
it didn't
going
get
on
a
over here.
damaged engine. That is really unlucky.
Oh, wow, that was very unlucky. And he's got raid at the same time. And now we do have a half-track over here. And I guess the grenade must have done some damage because the Volks and the Grenadier squad are actually both fairly intact, and they managed to chase off the rifles. So here's one of them, and probably the other one got retreated all the way. There it is, actually, yes, one guy left. And now we've got a quad inside the enemy base. And I think, did he hit it with a Panzerfaust? I just missed it. I didn't see it.
He must have.
It seems like it's a little bit more damage.
Gun coming out, and he has that in the absolute worst
Oh my
position.
god, I can't believe he's driving it right into the AT gun's line of fire. Wow.
See you later.
That was the worst position.
With the amount of fuel income
Ridiculous.
that he had, I wouldn't even have bothered to get a motor pool. I just would have got out the fastest Sherman possible and just started killing everything, even if it took a minute or two longer just to save up the manpower. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Charging someone's base is always risky, but you know, people are so used to Axis Tier 3 that, you know, you judge based on how much map control you have if it's a worthy strategy. Had Zeikko been going Tier 3, I'm sure it would have been an issue, but unfortunately he's not doing that. And also, like, Weapon Support Center openings that are kind of becoming more popular on Samoa also kind of throws Axis a curve, so any curve in the regular rifle spam armor company versus Terror, you know, basically kind of, and Terror Tier 3 kind of messes with people's heads a bit.
I can't believe he just left those machine guns in that building to get destroyed. And he didn't bring his AT gun up fast enough. Oh no. He missed a shot early. He did hit it. Oh wow, he got a very tough hit on it. Wow, look at that. It's already down to almost death. I think if he hadn't moved it, he would have got it and killed it. Oh, he did get it! Very nice micro, and very poor micro by R20 there. Don't you think? I mean, he seems like he should have got out of there. Or K20, sorry.
K20 seems like he's confused. I mean, he got a motor pool and then was like, oh, okay, maybe that's not going to do anything for me. So then he gets a tank depot right after getting a half-track. I mean, I just don't get why he was doing that, why he got a tank depot so fast after it. I mean, if you're going to go motor pool, get some units out on the field for a while.
So you think that was his mistake then?
So far, yeah, that's besides a little early MG mistake, which probably didn't mean anything in the long run.
And look at those flamethrowers.
He's building like rifles instead of a Sherman. I mean, he's got to have the fuel. It's just ridiculous that he doesn't have the fuel, and he's getting what, plus 50 right now, so plus 40. So yeah.
Oh, we've got bars actually. All of a sudden.
I think he's a little bit too. I think he's too concerned with losing that plus 26 fuel when it doesn't really matter because Axis already devoted quite a bit of fuel to tier 2 in the half track.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was surprised by tier 2, and so he got confused on exactly what to do next. But he's got bars on his rifles now, and I can't believe how much damage that engineer was doing to those units. But he used the half track to really good effect, and we saw Zeikko just continuously reinforce. It was like Overwatch on Dawn of War.
Yeah, watch how fast those Volks in the upper left-hand corner get engaged. It takes so long to take a plus 16 point that anything that's sitting inside the Allies' base can just walk over there and take
if he notices it. You think he'd just grab everything. I mean, look what he's got. He's got 2 rifle squads that could easily go and pin it and kill it unless he retreats it. He should have had it already.
Again, I bring up the point, why build the tank depot? I mean, if you're not going to get a Sherman. One Sherman, I mean, he's building armored cars. When
he really could use a Sherman at this point.
Sherman could have just eat everything on the field right now, and that AT gun. I mean, you have to be a little bit more conservative, but if you have bars and Shermans, I mean, come on. What are you going to need? Just get like one M8 or a sniper just to scout to see where everything is. He's just playing it really, really risky right now.
We've got Panzer Shreks now.
Not good.
It's going to hit the rear. Boom! Wow, that had to hurt. Luckily, he actually went around the AT gun this time. But is it going to be enough? Nope! Oh, my lord. I can't believe he lost his half-track and 2 armored cars so far.
And he knows that the AT gun was there also. I mean, it hasn't moved, so kind of a mistake. He's making quite a bit of mistakes right now, but again, he's building more rifles instead of getting a Sherman. I mean,
well, he lost access to plus 16 fuel, and now actually the Zeikko's grabbing it. Big battle going on here.
Extra grenadiers. He's got to have the munitions to hit the suppression button, but what is that going to do against the ability to reinforce in the field? I don't know. Zeikko could be taking out that MG just to suppress those riflemen, but who knows?
Oh wow, those Volks are getting very hurt. There's 4 of them, and they've got like 10% health. They're gonna die instantaneously now.
There's like 4 bodies of Grenadiers.
And he got it.
Ouch. And he's got a light machine gun on the Grenadier squad.
Oh wow, he does.
Nice.
Wow, that car just fell apart. Wow. Oh no! Wow!
Double grenade, nice.
I didn't even see there was 2 of them, but that wow, very nice comeback, even with riflemen. I was surprised. Did those rifles even get pinned at all by the LMG?
No, it didn't look like it.
I wonder if LMGs with bars don't get pinned, or sorry, riflemen with bars don't get pinned by the LMG for some reason.
Who knows? There
needs to be some more tests on that
in the game. So yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I found a new bug that if an AT gun is firing on your Volks as you pick up the AT gun and that you lose 2 crew, there's 1 crewman just standing there, and you can't do anything with the AT gun. So like I said, there's tons of bugs that need to be addressed, and the game's still young, so hopefully in a couple months from now these will be all fixed. He retreated that, almost capped the fuel.
Where did all his rifles go? Did he retreat all of them without taking any of those points?
He couldn't. He was down to he barely won.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, he could have picked up that Panzerschreck before he retreated, which would have been nice.
I don't know, can you pick that up if you already have bars? Maybe you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So now he's taking back the fuel. Zeikko, I know, skipped Tier 3 in this game. That's about all I know, so we might see some Panthers coming out in the field. But again, this is the most retarded thing I've seen in a while. I mean, he builds a tank depot, and now he chooses to get a Calliope instead of a Sherman. I mean, come on, he's got to have fuel. I mean,
that was a weird bug on my screen.
What's that?
The Calliope knocked over a telephone pole, kicked it all the way to the center victory point somehow. All the way back from the beginning.
Where was the, from when you entered the field?
Yeah.
Okay. I've actually saw, engineers get killed with a Panzerfaust, and they fly all the way across the screen, even off the map. How there's the little border on the map, and you can see a little bit past it. Yeah. They keep on flying in the air. It's just really weird.
And again, he sent his armored car, both his armored cars and his half-track, and his Calliope in here to kill this one freaking machine gun. He could have got a sniper so long ago. Well, I guess, yeah, but I mean, for the amount of fuel that he spent so far, he could have got 1 sniper to kill this damn machine gun for all he's done with all the other armored stuff he's had.
That LMG is really doing its job on the right. Oh, I love that thing. It's cool graphics. Here comes a barrage.
Oh no! Oh, look at that! I can't believe that. Nope! I thought 3 of them were going to survive. The last rocket killed 2 more. And he's got 1 guy left on that Grenadier squad. Reinforcing right now, though.
Yeah, Calliope barrages, like we were talking about earlier, they rarely take out an entire squad. Usually, well, most of the time, that in my experience, they don't. It's when you do a double barrage that just everything gets creamed.
Yeah. And, I mean, very surprising that, like you said, he's got a Calliope, and he's got the advantage, and he's sitting there with it. I mean, he had his units all over the place, and he just needs to build some riflemen to accompany his Calliope and start stomping on stuff, because they've got 1 AT gun still. I don't think he's built any more AT guns. We're getting a Panzer Command now, but...
Yeah, he probably could have had maybe 4 Shermans at this point, at least, maybe even 5. Certainly that would have been enough. Although you never really know that there was just 1 AT gun there.
That's true.
I mean, if you got 3 or 4 Shermans charging, even 2 AT guns, especially Axis AT guns, it's not that much of a risk.
Lost a Grenadier squad over on the right-hand side and protected his fuel. So theoretically, he should be building something, because he hasn't used any fuel recently at all. He should be getting some Shermans.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes that players make is they keep on reinforcing their squads in the middle game, when usually it's better just to hold on and hold your squads, and then wait till the whole manpower, struggle for manpower late game comes around, and then just cap the map with your remaining squads. If you're going to do that, just reinforce it up to like 3. There's been times where I've had, say, 3 rifle squads and 2 engineers in my base with 1 or 2 men in there, and then I just will wait, get out some tanks, and try to, just retake the map once it's safe. Didn't say that little thought as well as I could, but I think you get the idea.
Well, now the score is 500 to 146 because we've had Zeikko basically holding most of the points, actually most of the points this entire time. So
I haven't even glanced at the victory points at all.
Yeah.
That's funny enough. Yeah, victory counter is going down real quick for Allies.
Which is why he's made a big push for the left-hand side. And with that Calliope, right now, there's nothing that Zeikko has short of a 1 AT gun to try and fight it with. And as long as he plays well, that Calliope shouldn't go down to 1 AT gun, because he should be able to back out of there after the first shot or flank it after the first shot and, bring some bars in to finish it off.
There's actually you were talking about rails and metal earlier briefly. There's some great tier 2 axis strategies on there because the map's kind of skinny. You can lock it down fairly easily with MGs and anti-tank guns.
Oh my!
Ostwind.
Bars was not a good choice to go after that Pac 38. Wow.
Total map control going in favor of Allies right now, so I guess his infantry spammage kind of paid off.
Yep.
But certainly, I think if he would have went tanks earlier, then for sure he could have probably ended this game a long time ago. If you notice that the AT gun is cloaked, but 1 man isn't cloaked, and now the 1 man, so it took a while to cloak. I guess when there's a dead body nearby, you still get visual range of it. So, I don't know. It's weird.
Man, that Ostwind's missing a lot more than usual, but there it goes. The Rifleman squad's trying to retreat, and it almost got killed by the Ostwind, but wow. Just barely hanging on by 1 guy. I think that's one of the things that K20, damn it. K20 has been doing really well, has been simply retreating so that he never actually loses any squads. So when he reinforces it, it's cheaper than buying a brand new squad. Meanwhile, I've seen over on Zeikko's side, he's lost quite a few squads. I've seen at least 2 Grenadier squads. That's, a good 100 manpower at least down the hole, I should think, rather than just reinforcing 3 of them. He has to build a 300 manpower whole new one. So actually, it's probably more like 150, 200 manpower down the drain.
Right. I mean, K20, we're kind of criticizing his play a lot tonight, but again, that Calliope has just been sitting there for quite a while.
Yeah.
And these barrages, I mean, the distance that he's doing these things at, I mean, look at the Austin. What is it going to take, like a 4th damage?
Yeah, if he had been closer, it would have worked, but I don't know why he used a barrage. He could have just driven up to it and killed... Oh, no, the AT gun's there. Now a Panther, so this is definitely bad news. I mean, look at the map control. Where are the damn Shermans? I mean, it's like you said, he's probably just reinforcing all his infantry squads, but Jesus, he could have had How much fuel does he have now? He's had the plus 16 OP'd for most of the game.
Yeah, Panther's main weakness is they're not very good against infantry, so you can get sticky bombs on them pretty easily. But we'll see how that goes. Just calling in a Pershing, that could definitely help out at this point.
That's where his manpower was going.
Although it wouldn't surprise me if Zeikko went terror in this game, or maybe defensive. I don't know, my guess is terror, so there'll probably be a Tiger Ace coming out. That Panther took quite a bit of damage. It's down about...
Yeah, what did it get hit by?
I just think it was the barrage. It got lucky barrage.
I didn't think it was even in there with the barrage.
Yeah. Well, that tank depot is totally useless unless you planned on getting smoke like 30 minutes in advance.
Could be. I mean, he could totally have the long range guns too, or not the long range, the 76mm gun too, and he could be pumping out easy 8s fairly soon to back up that Panther. If he does that, then he's got definitely a good chance here. I'm sorry, pumping out easy 8s to back up the Pershing.
Yeah, I mean, if he would have went with a fast Sherman strategy, which is what I usually do on this map, I'm not perfect and I don't win every game as allies, but when you have that kind of fuel advantage, I wouldn't be surprised if he has 1,000 more fuel than Zeikko. Maybe
Look at that
1,500
Ostwin knocking over smokestacks. What did that do to him? Go ahead, sorry.
It's funny. I played this game on McGeekins, and we were just messing around. We had the guys pretty much base locked, and one guy dropped, or I think he left. Anyways, we had about 12 Ostwins. We rushed the base, and we actually almost took out one Sherman with 12 Ostwins, and we lost all of our Ostwins in the process. But we were just seeing if is it possible for an Ostwin to take out a tank, and yes, it is. If you get about 12 of them, and you sit there for about 5-7 minutes. So yeah, made for some great screenshots. A lot of carcasses in the base.
Now he's going to be shooting at the Pershing from the back with his Ostwin.
A lot of people are mistaken about the Pershing. I talked to one of my friends at Relic, and he says that the Pershing's frontal armor is the most resistant. You have the most likelihood with the Pershing for the armor. For the shell to bounce off the front armor, Tigers just do more damage. Their front armor actually isn't as resistant.
Yeah.
As the Pershing.
Panzerschreck's laying into the Pershing right now. It's definitely going to have to go back and get repaired very soon.
Yeah,
and
infantry do real good against the Pershing. I don't even know why the Pershing has an 8. It just misses a lot. And as you saw, that was a direct hit. With an 8 combat value.
Oh my god, look how close that Panzerschreck guy, he must have terror because he shouldn't have been able to reload that fast. That must have been Zeal. And I can't believe he almost killed the Pershing with that one Panzerschreck guy left.
That's what I would think. This has been quite a victory point counter comeback. I mean,
yeah,
it goes down to 219 just about 7 to 10 minutes later. Another
Ostwin's going to go down.
Range Calliope barrage. That one was pretty decent. It's interesting the AT gun didn't get hit, or maybe it got hit. No, I think that was the damage from the from earlier. And again, the riflemen don't get suppressed by the LMG.
Yeah, look at that. That's got to be a bug. It's got to be when they get bars. For some reason, they become unsuppressible by LMGs.
Something like that. That's strange. Because I know in the one game that I played on Samoa against one per guy out of like 50 or 60 that actually went tier 2 and got the LMG, it did suppress my guys pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It was about as fast as a machine gun. So
yeah, in my experience, it suppresses very quickly, but it looks like bars might be the ticket to why it's doing that. And here's another problem with K20. He's got a Pershing at almost no health here, and he's letting it sit there. At any point, if a Panzerschreck or the AT gun had stumbled across it or anything, it would be gone. I mean, it'd just be insta-dead. I mean, they have a Calliope here, but why isn't it being repaired? Where's his engineers?
Why?
He's got an engineer back at the base. He should be driving it back to his base to repair it. I mean, it could be back in the fight by now with most of its health back.
And better question, I mean, that's a great question, but also, why hasn't he moved it? I mean, it looked like I played that game against F-Tang that got replay of the week, and I mean, so many times, like, in a lot of games, in that game, I brought down his Tiger Ace to about 10% health, lost 3 tanks in the process, pretty crazy. They were already damaged before the battle, but I got my Pershing out and just rushed all the way to where his Tiger Ace was, or where I thought it was, because that's where it was 5 seconds ago, and it got killed because he didn't move it from his position.
Instead, he's bringing a new Pershing on? He could just heal it? And look at this. Are you kidding me? It's just sitting there, and finally he realizes, you know, maybe I should do something with this Pershing over here.
Yeah, those Grenadiers
I bet it's
going to kill it in one shot. Bye-bye.
Lucky miss.
That 10%... No, it hit. It was just that stupid 10% thing.
And even got a level of veterancy. Now we got a Pershing versus the Panther over here. Panther got a lucky miss, and we've got an AT gun joining in, so this Pershing is going down very quickly. I cannot believe that AT gun is doing so much damage. He backs it up very nice. Oh, no! Finished off by a Panzerschreck. Wow. He should not have... I mean, this is ridiculous. K20 should have had that other Pershing completely healed almost by the time the second Pershing came in. Pushing both those Pershings together would have completely just collapsed this left side. Instead,
Like
it's
the
sitting
Calliope
over here.
barrage from halfway across the map.
Yeah. All you gotta do, I mean, it wound up killing the guy. It looked, nope, it didn't even finish killing him. All you had to do was drive a little bit closer and shoot it with the main gun so he didn't waste all the munitions, or just drive a little closer and use the munitions to much greater effect. Just moving from there to here, where he's still, protected by the building, would increase the accuracy, immensely. And now he's finally repairing it, but why is he repairing it in an area where he's gonna get shot?
Yeah, in this situation, instead of calling in that second Pershing, getting 2 Shermans out on the field and getting the smoke for the same amount of manpower, or around the same amount.
Wow, those Volks just annihilated the engineers. This is why you don't repair in the middle of the and there, and the grr. Okay, now the Calliope's got level 3 veterancy because he finally took out the AT gun. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead, Vittensby. It's all you.
Oh, I was just saying that, I kind of got my thought out, but certainly there's been a lot of mistakes on the Allies' part. Tank Depot was a major waste. In the scheme of things, it's not too much of a big deal, but certainly Zeikko was able to make kind of a comeback because he spent, that was, 2 rifleman squads right there, your bar, sticky bomb, and your, what am I forgetting, and grenade upgrade for like the same amount of manpower and fuel practically. So, who knows? He does have stickies. He's not microing his Calliope at all. Head-to-head against a Panther is suicide. You can actually... it is possible to do some pretty decent damage against a Panther if you can micro really well. Just like a Tiger. Slow-turning turret. Now we have Tiger Ace coming out on the field.
Oh no, the Panther just got the 10% bug, I think. And the riflemen are on the left, hitting it with Panzerschreck and finally taking it down. Calliope backed out because he lost his main gun, it looks like. Now, why is he sitting there with this rifleman shooting at a Tiger head-on? It looks like he's finally going to sticky with it. But wow, that Tiger blows things
Bridger.
up.
He's noob. Don't you know? No, I'm just kidding. He needs to take that VP on the left and just hold it. And Zeikko has no capping.
Yeah, look
power
at this.
on the field.
You're right.
No capping power. He's got like something in that half track, and that's about it.
I
You know how
can't
many
believe
sticky
that.
bombs it takes out to take a Tiger Ace out? Like 10.
Yeah. He's got Panzerschreck there too, though. He picked it up. He's got an LMG light machine gun there, 42. And he's going to try and go back and take, what, the far one? Yeah, it looks like the far right victory point and lock it down at 43 to 146. I am not a fan of leaving your tanks like that.
Is it so? Yes, it is so. He almost built something from his tank depot, and then he canceled it like 2 seconds later, and
He's
then he
building
started
it again.
up again. Yeah, it seems like K20 was just so thrown back from Zeikko's strategy. He just didn't know what to do, and he made a lot of mistakes. Just getting that tank depot up obviously was the issue. But the game's not over yet. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and he's actually, moved his Tiger slightly out of harm's way, and he's going to be repairing it here, it looks like. That's a decent position to repair it in.
These are the type of losses, if he does end up losing this game, that you just kick yourself over.
Oh, yeah.
He made such a comeback. And to go down, I know some people get down to like 1 point, and some guys at 500 who makes a comeback. It's ridiculous.
Now that I think about it, Grenadiers, do they come with... Yeah, the first guy's got a MP44. Okay, sorry. For a second I thought that was a weird bug, but I forgot. The squad leader of a Grenadier squad comes with an MP44. And he's got an Ostwind over here as well. That's definitely going to be useful. But what do we got? 2 Shermans out on the field now. And you'd think he could afford also the long barrels on him, the 76 barrels. And if he's got a third... and he gets those long barrels. Oh, there it is. He's got 2 with long barrels. Now, that's going to be useful if the Tiger's not repaired. And it's, again, pretty repaired now.
Again, we got units just sitting in the middle. Riflemen could have capped that VP on the left and ended this quite a while ago. When Zeikko really had... He still has no capping power, really. He's only got, what's on the right, so...
A Grenadier squad and I think an Engineer squad. No, Grenadier and Volk's Grenadier squad.
Yeah, man, those riflemen are triple bar veterans. See 2 squads in his base, and that's pretty nice, especially when you give one of them a Panzerschreck. Does one of them have? Yeah, one of them has a Panzerschreck.
And now he's got another one just running into an Ostwind. Bad news. Is he charging the Ostwind? He just lost his Panzerschreck.
Yeah,
and his squad.
Ouch.
Now he's got a Calliope and 2 Shermans. And the Calliope is a triple veterancy. And now he's going for the super long range that missed almost completely. I mean, he got 1 hit onto the Tiger Ace, but not too much damage.
And this is why the Calliope is overpowered.
Hey,
tell me, Bridget.
Quiet you. That is bad use. That is a bad use. It's not my fault he doesn't know how to use it to its overpowered potential. And here comes a... Look at that! Look at how quickly it just gets to regen... I'm sorry, I'm falling into old patterns. This is a different game. Okay. But that Tiger Ace is still damaged from before. And it ping off the front armor. Oh, that Ostwind's gone.
Yeah, he's really... What is he doing? He's not using his tanks at all together, and he hasn't been the entire game.
Yeah. Perhaps we were misled when we were to understand that this was a clash of good players.
Well, Zeikko is the Gosu. He is excellent.
Yeah, he's doing well, but K20 is just making a lot of mistakes that you don't think he should make. His micro's not doing too well. I mean, he could still use the Calliope to attack the Tiger. There's no reason for the Calliope to be sitting back there at triple veterancy with all this infantry to kill. The Calliope is still very good at killing infantry.
That Tiger Ace is going to go down. But if you're going to get the upgraded gun, man, he should have got smoked, seriously. You know how OP that would have been?
Oh, yeah.
That Ace is toast.
It is.
The
Calliope even got a shot. Oh, is that smoke?
He does have smoke. Nice.
Now he's going to start owning.
Oh, boy. Wow, this could be the comeback of the century right now.
The comeback of the noob? Those Volks really need to be retreated. Oh, he just wanted to get Panzerfaust off. Oh, look how close that tank is to death. Yeah, I can't believe that Panzerfaust hit when it was still... I think it was still in smoke.
10% issue that we have.
Yeah. And he's got Engineer, so he's actually pulling those forward. That's good. He's got a double veterancy, Easy 8 Sherman, a regular Sherman, and a Calliope. That's a tough thing to beat, especially because I don't see any Panthers or Tigers on the field. 88 to 34. As soon as he turns this one over, we've got probably about 2.5 minutes before a complete turnover or a complete drain.
Not sure why Zeikko's capping in the upper right-hand corner. Certainly it's a manpower game right now and a victory point game. But we'll see. Maybe he just needed some extra fuel for his Panther, which he's making.
Panther's going to help, but something tells me the Panther's not going to do too much against a couple of Shermans here. And he almost got it. Look at that. He knocked it right back down to 0 with that one Panzerschreck.
I love the retreating pathing. They go into the path that's least favored.
Yeah.
Every time. Whatever's quickest to get back to the base, there's no logic to their retreat pattern right through 3 tanks. Oh no. Zeikko, you're not bringing that to...
Oh! He finally got it!
And that's exactly what I was talking about when I was mentioning that game against F-Tank. He knew that he was there, he got another tank, he just brought it over and sniped the one that was weak.
Yep.
And again, that's like, you never want to keep your... This is a good game to learn from. There's been a lot of mistakes made, and I think we pointed out, and I think it's a lot of mistakes that some players do make quite often. So. And
look at the tickets slowly counting down, but there's a Pershing on the field now. This is really close.
There's a Pershing?
Yeah, Pershing on the far left. I mean, right now, there's no question that K20 should win this right now because we have a single, we got an AT gun, and a Panther against an Easy 8 Sherman, a Calliope, and a Pershing. So, right now, the Panther only has an Ostwind for backup. And there goes a big barrage. Right now, there's no question that K20 should win this if he just caps those points. He can cap the far right, too.
If he doesn't have enough, I don't know what he could possibly be building for that Panzer Command. Maybe he should have waited for a Tiger Ace. Not quite sure.
He's got a single rifleman back at the base that he could just use to go cap stuff. But he needs infantry. I mean, what is he building? He's not building. K20's not building a tank. He's not building anything at his base. I mean, maybe he's saving up for another Pershing, but he needs the capping power to start taking those points. He's got the one squad of engineers here. He could at least build another engineer squad to come repair his shit. I always have 2 engineer squads in a group with flamers on the front line to act as accessory to my infantry and to repair my tanks whenever I need it. Always. I never break that rule. But look at the tickets! Why are you charging his base? Ah. This is such a risky move right now.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to get killed when that second Panther pops out. Definitely, that's toast. Oh my god. Crazy comeback. I can feel it. Grenadiers.
Yeah, if he just kills those... That tank should not be shooting at the Ostwind. Shoot at the infantry that are capping your point. Oh my god! He's not paying attention. He's attacking their base, and that's why you don't attack the base when you're all this close to winning. He's got 10 tickets left, and you let him take your victory point. Oh my god.
Yeah, some people like to do like, we were talking before, and some people like to kind of gloat and get like a master unit out in certain games just to be like, "Hi, I pwned you in the end," But yeah, certainly that was a suicide charge to all the players. There was at this stage in the game, even towards the end of the game, as you saw like last week actually, when who was it? Anaketos charged Athenian's base with 2 Pershings and he ended up losing them. Certainly, there was no valuable target at this stage in the game to take out. That was just really. See,
stupid. This is why he needed an engineer squad. He finally got a new rifleman squad just to take this back after he lost it with the Ostwind there. And he still has a chance. I mean, he can come back and take these points. I mean, he's got a Panther. He's still got an Easy 8 that's pretty decently in shape there. I'm sorry, now he has a Pershing and an Easy 8, not a Panther. I keep getting those. He's slowing it down with this middle one, at least. He needs the capping power. He's got a damn unit in his base that is sitting there and not attacking the far left. This is one of the things, like you said, it's something to learn from, because he's got another Calliope coming out of the field. Because if you have a unit sitting in your base, it shouldn't be there. In a game like this, there's usually a situation where you simply don't know where the enemy is, and so it's always good to probe the enemy's lines, because like we mentioned, the whole right side of this map has been barren this entire game. All he had to do was send something over there and take that victory point a while ago, and he would have been winning. It's 16-10 now, very close score. He really needs to get some units capping a victory point, any victory point, and instead he's concentrating on the fight in the middle. He can leave his tanks to guard the victory point and just send these guys somewhere. Instead, he's going to lose, I think, because he's finally decided to go left. It looks like.
I think he's charging the left or picking up the Shreks.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a fatal decision. It looks like.
Yeah, he could have got to the right a little bit faster as well, I think. That maybe made this game
always check all the lines, because much of the time your enemy takes defenses away from an area. 5 victory points left. I think he's going to stop it. The Pershing comes back. 4 victory points. The infantry are protected by 2 tanks. 3 tanks.
He's going to get it.
He's got it. He turned it around at 2 tickets. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And here comes the firestorm. Oh my lord. He's not going to get it.
What? That was so incredibly good.
It's at one ticket, but look at this. He neutralized the middle. We had to neutralize the middle. Oh, my God, and the playback is over because he neutralized the middle, and the right had been his control the whole game. Wow.
My guess is, maybe about 1,000 more fuel for the Allies since Axis controlled the right side for a while.
Yeah, at least 200-300, no question,
only
though.
600-700 more fuel.
Wow, only 600 more fuel. What the hell did he do with it? He built 2 Shermans the whole game.
And as always, Allies have 1,000 more munitions in longer games than Axis do. It's every single time on this map. If anyone's got a replay where both players played well, and Axis has more munitions than Allies, I'd be interested in seeing it. Man, that was a 250 casualty game, 100 and something on each side.
Wow,
pretty intense. I don't know. Any final thoughts, Bridger?
I'm just angry. That's all. There was so much that could have been better. But like you said, it's a good game to learn from. So when you hear us get outraged, take notes. It's what you need to do. So hopefully you guys learn some stuff from that. And I really want to get another 2v2 in next week, and perhaps actually. Depending on, I'm gonna wait to do an experienced Company of Heroes game until they change the balance a little bit more. There's some issues with the tank balance that I think they said they're working on. I'm gonna wait until they get to the next release candidate. We'll see how that's like before we do an ECOH game. But hopefully, if all goes well, we'll have a new patch version out this week, and so next week we'll have a brand new game on the new patch, and we'll see how things go in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Soldier. Yeah, Soldier, people don't really know him from retail, but they know him from the beta. I just thought I'd give him a shout-out. He's a good friend, and he looked at the changes, and he basically thought that Axis didn't really get as much of a nerf. I mean, initially, it looked like Axis was getting all the nerfs, but when you kind of look at it now, like the updated list, it actually looks like Allies are going to be suffering more from the balance changes. Axis did get a little bit of a buff in some areas, and obviously a nerf in the other. The Panther comes to mind for the buffs, but we'll see how the 10 fuel on the Puma comes out. See if that's really a big deal.
Did you just say Puma?
Puma or Puma or Puma or however you want to say it.
All right, whatever.
Yeah. So.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We have another episode of Tales of Heroes. You can find these, of course, at tales.tsncentral.com, and that's part of the Team Sportscast Network. TSN, we call the shots. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. Have a good night, or day, if you're watching this afterwards, of course.
TSN, the Team Sportscast Network.
This broadcast is copyrighted 2006 by the Team Sportscast Network. Any copying, reproduction, redistribution, modification, rebroadcasting of any kind or any manner is expressly prohibited without the written permission of the Team Sportscast Network, LLC.